So let's talk about the Beatles Anthology. It's a little confusing since there are CDs, DVDs, videos, all with Anthology in the title. But we're going to talk about what's big news right now, the video on Apple.
Yeah, and let's explain. The 2025 restored and remastered version with the new 9th episode is called The Beatles Anthology 2025, or sometimes just Beatles Anthology 2025.
And it's only available on Disney Plus Way.
That's right, only on Disney Plus Way.
And when it first dropped, the reaction was, immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Jackson's team, the same people who did Get Back, they worked their magic on it.
Oh, the footage is just glorious. The audio is spectacular.
Absolutely. So at first there was just this wave of pure excitement. Longtime fans thinking, great, the definitive documentary, but in stunning 4K.
But then, almost immediately, you started to see the posts online. People noticed that things were missing.
A lot of things, it turns out.
A significant chunk of it is just gone from the original 2003 DVD version.
We've looked at the comparison charts, the statements from Apple Corps, and yeah, there are extensive cuts. We're talking about roughly an hour removed from the total running time.
So our mission for you today is to really dig into that, to analyze these edits. Did Disney and Apple Corps, sanitize the anthology? Did they cut out the messy, historically rich bits?
Or did they just streamline it for how we watch things in 2025?
That's the big question.
Okay, let's start with the raw numbers.
Yeah.
How big are these edits we're talking about?
Well, the scope is pretty dramatic, actually. The original 2003 BVD set, which, everyone considers the definitive document.
The Bible, really?
The Bible. It ran for about 10 hours. So each of the 8 episodes was around 75 minutes long.
Okay. And the new one?
The 2025 Disney Plus version. Each episode has been cut down to just under 60 minutes.
Wow. So that's where that missing hour comes from. That's a huge shift in the whole structure.
It's a fundamental change.
And the official reason, the corporate line from Apple Corps, was that the new version was edited with a stronger narrative.
Right. And this is the key part, created with new generations of viewers and listeners in mind.
New generations.
That phrase tells you everything you need to know about the priority here. It feels like they made a commercial assumption, probably driven by streaming platform data.
So the idea that, people today have shorter attention spans.
Exactly. The old model of a 75-minute documentary episode, one that has time for historical side notes or long musical bits, that just doesn't fit the modern pattern.
It's all about structural optimization then.
It is. The goal was rapid pacing, making it into what they call bingeable chunks.
Right.
Streaming platforms want you to watch 3 episodes in one sitting, and the data shows that once an episode goes over an hour, a lot of people just don't finish it.
So they chose momentum over the little details, the minutiae.
They prioritized a fast-moving story over maybe the complete story.
I get the business logic. I really do. But let's talk about the cost of that efficiency.
Right.
Because that's what the fans are focusing on. When you see the actual anecdotes that got the axe, they weren't just cutting fat.
No. They were cutting moments that defined the Beatles as real, complex people, not just icons.
The loss of that texture is, it's the real tragedy here.
I think so, too. And the most famous example, the one everyone is talking about, is a story from their Hamburg days.
Right. A story that perfectly shows their early, messy, chaotic side.
It involves Paul McCartney and their drummer at the time, Pete Best. In the original anthology, Paul himself tells the story, which gave it such an immediate feel. But it's just gone from the Disney Plus version.
Completely gone.
And it's such a great story because it captures their youth, the recklessness, the fact they had nothing. They were living in these awful, grim little rooms behind a cinema screen.
Wicked kids, really.
Yeah. And as this sort of final act of defiance against the club owner, Bruno Koschmader, who they felt was treating them terribly.
What'd they do?
Paul and Pete set fire to a condom they had nailed to the wall.
A condom. It's such a bizarre, childish thing to do. It's just this little symbolic gesture.
A tiny little fire. But Koschmader, he was not amused. He reported it as arson.
An arson.
Even though there was barely any damage. But it led to Paul and Pete getting arrested, spending 3 hours in a German jail, and then getting deported, kicked right out of the country.
That detail is just gold. It's the grit, it's the danger. They weren't these charming lads in suits yet. They were troublemakers who got deported from Germany before they even had a hit record.
And when you take that story out, the narrative becomes much cleaner, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You go straight from hungry Liverpool boys to famous pop stars, and you skip the uncomfortable, almost criminal chaos that actually shaped them. It's the perfect example of streamlining for speed at the cost of what makes the story real.
And it seems like all the cuts follow that pattern. It's not just physical recklessness. They also took out things that showed their creative stubbornness.
Absolutely. Another historically huge removal is about their first single. It's the omission of Mitch Murray's demo recording of How Do You Do It?
That is such a fundamental moment. It changed everything for them.
It really did. I mean, for context, this was the song George Martin, the fifth Beatle, wanted them to release as their first single. It was safe. It was a guaranteed hit written by a pro.
And the band, who were, barely out of their teens, they just flat out said no. They rejected the advice of the most important man in their career and said they'd only release their own song, Love Me Do.
That moment, that rejection, is when they stopped being just another pop group and demanded to be treated as artists. By cutting the demo and the interviews about it, you lose that tangible proof of them drawing a line in the sand, that confidence right at the base of their career before any of the fame.
So the pattern is,
if
it slows things down or complicates the image of these clean-cut geniuses, it gets trimmed or it's gone completely.
And then there's the other category of cuts, which is less about cleaning up the story and more about pure efficiency. We could call it the YouTube prop.
Okay, what does that mean?
It refers to all the extended performance footage and full music videos they trimmed, like the long clips from their Ed Sullivan appearances.
Right.
Back in 1995, when Anthology first came out, or even in 2003 with the DVDs, seeing that footage was a revelation. It was so rare.
It was part of the whole point of the series. It was this massive archive.
Exactly. But in 2025, that context is completely gone. The band's OnePlus video collection has restored versions of nearly every promo clip. You can find all these performances on YouTube in seconds, often in better quality.
Okay, I see. So from the production side, they're looking at it and thinking, why include long clips of stuff that's already so easy to find everywhere else?
It's a resource argument. It's logical. Why waste precious runtime on something a viewer can just pull up on their phone? Better to focus that time on what's unique to Anthology, the interviews, the outtakes.
And a really specific example of this is the Washington Coliseum concert footage.
Their first American concert, February 11th, 1964, the night Beatlemania truly exploded in the U.S.
An absolutely historic night. And the original DVD had these long sequences. You didn't just see the songs, you saw the chaos between them.
Yeah, the crowd reactions, the way they had to physically move the drum kit around on stage because stadium shows weren't even a thing yet. It captured the raw texture of it all.
And the new version just trims that right down. You get the highlights, song snippets, but you lose that immersive feeling. You get the event, but not the experience.
So to sum it up, the cuts follow a really clear logic. Remove long concert bits because they're redundant, get rid of full music videos, and condense any interview that slows the pace or makes the band seem, uncomfortable.
And the goal is always that narrative momentum.
Always.
Which brings up this huge irony, doesn't it? This new gutted anthology is on the exact same streaming platform Disney Plus did as Peter Jackson's Get Back.
Which runs for nearly 8 hours.
Covering one single month of their career. And audiences absolutely loved Get Back for its long, slow, unedited realism.
It's a great point. Why was Get Back allowed to be slow and messy while Anthology had to be streamlined? I think the answer is just when they were made. Get Back was a new production built from the ground up for streaming. It was all about immersive realism.
While Anthology was a 1990s documentary, a product of its time, being retrofitted for 2025.
Exactly. The original Anthology was so treasured by fans, not for the hits, you could get those anywhere, but for the rambling stories and the uncomfortable truths. It was valued for being complete.
It's the difference between a historical textbook and a summary for a test.
And that's what's lost. The depth is sacrificed for this commercial need for speed. We lose the chaos, the recklessness, some of the key historical context, all for a polished story arc.
So for historians, for the serious fans, the result is that you now have to keep your old 2003 DVD copy or go hunting for low-quality bootlegs just to have the full story.
And there's an ethical point here, too, about the original director, Jeff Wanfor. He passed away in 2023, so his major artistic work was fundamentally changed after his death to fit new streaming trends. That's a tricky position for archivists.
So if you're a new fan just discovering the Beatles story today, what's the final takeaway?
Here's the uncomfortable truth. For a brand new fan, the 2025 version probably works. It does. They get the whole sweep of the story, the music, the big moments, all in these neat under-an-hour chunks.
For them, this beautiful, polished version might actually become the definitive one.
It might. But for historical accuracy, for completeness, the 2003 DVD is still the most complete document we have. The The 2025 Disney Plus version, as stunning as it looks, is a curated highlight reel.
Wait, I almost forgot to mention our Beatles store.
Yeah, we've collected our favorite Beatles treasures all in one place. The link is in the video description and the first comment.
It's a great way to support this channel and get some great prices on some Beatles merch. The link to our store is in the video description and the first comment.
And if you have a browser handy, go to BeatlesRewind.com and that will get you to our store.
Beatles forever.